Hi, boys and girls. In this last video, we're going to explain the last three quotes, which I believe would be 6, 7, and 8. So we're looking for quotes 6, 7, and 8. And the first one says, "For those creatures that swing or glide or climb, there are the emerald highways, strung together by vines and lianas that lace the tops of the trees together into a web for commuting life." Ooh, that one's really tricky. For the creatures that swing or glide or climb, there are the emerald highways. Ooh, this reminds me of the movie Tarzan, the Disney movie Tarzan. Maybe you've seen it, right? Of course, Tarzan swings on vines. So I'm thinking maybe that's the emerald highway, right? And to me, this one seems an awfully lot like a metaphor. Remember when we were doing Esperanza and we talked about the river, right? And this seems like that kind of thing where it's comparing all of the vines that the creatures swing on to emerald highways. And it says it's a web for commuting life. Like if you're a commuter, then that means that you drive to get to work. So the creatures are swinging on the emerald highways. All right, so now I am positive this is a metaphor. And I'm going to let you put metaphor in there too, right? What does this help us understand, right? I think, right? This helps us understand how creatures like monkeys can transport themselves in the rainforest. It suggests the vines are like highways or commuters. So it's comparing it to how we get to our work and our business. All right, and now let's go look for the oh, that should be monkeys. There we go. It suggests good. The vines are like highways for commuters. Good. I fixed all of that. All right, and let's look at the context. It says at some points in the canopy, there are what researchers call crown shyness, by which they mean the spacing between the crowns of the trees, mean they're far away. The spacing influences what lives where in the canopy, providing pathways for toucans and macaws and other creatures that fly. For those creatures that swing or glide or climb, there are the emerald highways strung together by vines and lianas that lace the trees together for a web of commuting life. So I'm thinking the context for this one, right, is just um noticing, like, right, that you're noticing the many vines in the rainforest that connect the trees that are spaced further apart, right? Because it was saying that the birds would be able to move around a little bit. All right, I'm going to pause this and you won't really know, but I'll be right back because I don't want to make you sit around waiting while I look for the next quote. Let's look at the next quote. It says, "The inner leaves are a fiery red and erupt like," see it right there, "like tongues of flame from a volcano." And if I see the word like or as, I know automatically that I'm using a simile. So I'm going back to add simile, right? When you compare things to like or as, and it says the inner leaves. Let's see what we are talking about. Let's go back and look for the context. All right, it says bromeliads have spiky leaves which forms a fibrous hollow tank. The outer leaves are bright green, but often the inner leaves are a fiery red and erupt like tongues of flame from a volcano. So bromeliads are green on the outside, but inside it's almost like bleh. They're erupting like tongues of flame from a volcano. That's a really nice image. Wow. Okay, so I think we can go back for the context and say they are describing a bromeliad. And that's our context, right? And I think, right, I the reason that this is it helps me know what they look like, right? I know that bromeliads are bright red in the middle, maybe like, or at least orange or something, right? Like volcano flames. That simply gives me a really good image, right, of what a bromeliad might look like. All right, and I'm going to pause again while I find the next quote. Okay, the next quote goes like this: a beetle. It's beautiful. It's kind of purple. No, sort of gold. Its back is like polished metal. Ooh, like again. All right, I don't even need, I'm going to put my simile right in there because I see the word like. Simile. All right, it's like polished metal and it's got this weird Darth Vader head on it. Ooh, now I think the Darth Vader head, isn't it comparing it to a Darth Vader head? But it doesn't say like or as, so I think it's a simile and a metaphor together. Right, because they're saying it looks like a Darth Vader head, but it doesn't say like or as. And then it also says like polished metal. So I think it's got both in it. All right, and now let's go look at the context of what they're looking at. All right, it says, "What is it, James?" Meg calls down. "A beetle. It's beautiful. It's kind of purple. No, sort of gold. Its back is like polished metal, and it's got this weird Darth Vader head on it. Maybe it's poisonous. Oh, gee, I hope not. Don't touch it." All right, so I think her kid is seeing a kind of beetle. So that would be our context. Meg's son is describing a beetle he sees, right? Okay. And what does this do? Well, I think it gives us a really good idea. Like, it's polished metal. I know this bug is shiny and his head looks like Darth Darth Vader's helmet, right? I mean, now I can really picture it. It's got like a, weird looking head and it's all shiny. I think that's the reason for that simile. All right, and now you have finished your explaining quotes, figurative language note catcher, and I'm so proud of you. Thanks so much.